Guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. I'm here in my flat at Corey's Road, Rochester. Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 12:16 p.m.
Right, earlier on I took a phone call. Just after that phone call, I went outside to take my dog Max for a walk. He's a small brown chihuahua. I don't have two dogs, I only have one dog, and he's a small brown chihuahua. There he is. And he's all wet. So, I was dressed in a blue anorak, a blue coat, and I had my cap on to keep my head protected from the rain. And I went outside the front of the building. I'm not hiding, I'm not scared of who I am, I'm not hiding away in the shadows. I'm going to go out the front of the building where I live. So I went out, I took Max around I went straight onto the field. I didn't bother walking around Common Creek Wharf, I took him straight onto the field where we had a jolly time running about in the wet grass, and the rain started coming down on the way back. There was a couple on the field. The woman had an orange beanie hat like I got and I've worn in a live YouTube video. So she had an orange beanie hat on. She was walking with her fella, and they had two dogs darting around the field. And I've got white trousers on. I didn't want dogs jumping all over my clothes. So I walked across the field on the way back. There was a woman walking around the field, a couple with one was a black dog, one was a brown dog, and then I walked off the field past the co-op, past Costa Coffee, and I walked home to my flat, where I came in the front of the building where there was some muddy footprints because it's wet outside. So you've got people's welly prints, people's boot prints, mud and stuff on the stairs, which when police gather evidence, a footprint or mud or soil, you can get DNA from, and you also can tell a person's shoe size by the imprints of their welly boots or their shoe. So the lift is still broken, walked up the stairs, which is now getting covered in bits of mud from outside, up to the first floor, into my flat. And the cats do. The cat had pooed in the cat litter while I was out. So it stank of cat poo. So I've cleaned the litter tray out, got rid of the stench of cat poo. When I went out, my neighbour's Ford Mondeo upstairs was coming up the road, and I could smell the exhaust fumes. So I went out of the building, and my neighbour's Ford Mondeo was coming up as I was going out, because I'd just taken a phone call. And I could smell the exhaust fumes, and don't the exhaust fumes of cars stink? Right up my nose, the Ford Mondeo's exhaust fumes out of the exhaust pipe. When I first went out, it made me feel lightheaded and groggy. Anyway, I came back into my flat after taking Max for a walk, opened the window, opened the French windows, and you know as you do, you look outside to see what's going on. That's what windows are for, to look outside, so you can see. And the large lady on Telemon Close was having an Ocado delivery. My mum has Ocado deliveries, Jennifer does. I don't, I use Tesco's. I just use Tesco's now. So there was about 10 bags of old plastic Ocado bags full of shopping going into her flat. Now, I met a guy called Mark one Sunday, who was a small bearded fella, and he said he fancied me, and I never saw him again. So she's got a tall bloke. So this is all funny, it's like a comedy. So there's a tall bloke like Mark going into that large lady's flat with all these plastic Ocado bags. And then I haven't been into the co-op. I have no intention of going into the co-op. So he goes to the co-op with his beanie hat on and comes out with 2 co-op bags. So they've had 9 plastic bags of Ocado shopping. He's gone up and got 2 bags of shopping from the co-op, and he's gone in there with them. I haven't haven't done any home deliveries this week. I haven't gone into the co-op for a few days, so I've got no plastic bags full of shopping in my flat. I haven't gone anywhere. So I've just had a chocolate waffle that I got from the co-op a few days ago. A chocolate waffle, I like those. Really nice they are. So it's all about food, isn't it? Food. You know, it always was way back in 2008 when I got allegedly raped, and the so-called police, the PC Lorraine and the PC Peter Bell, took me to Darrett Valley Hospital where they performed what is called a SARC. They gathered DNA and evidence from your body to catch the alleged rapist. So they cut my pubic hair off and put it in a plastic bag. They took DNA from my vagina, put it in a plastic bag. It was a female doctor at the Darrett Valley Hospital, a female doctor and a female police officer, and I was a woman. So they took sperm samples from my genital regions, including my bum, my anus. And I was laid on the front, totally naked, on the bed, totally naked, butt naked, and they stuck a camera right up to my orifice and were taking photographs because the alleged rapist had made my bottom bleed. He raped me, allegedly, up the bottom, so my anus was bleeding. And I'm a woman. And they took photos. So what happened with all this evidence? Why was I put through that humiliation of having my pubic hairs cut and put into a bag, my bra and my knickers put into brown paper bags to take away as evidence? They didn't bother doing anything. I never got my bra and pants, jeans and jacket returned. I got nothing returned, and I was put all through that humiliation for absolutely nothing. On the way, when I was questioned in the Command House pub in Chatham, where the alleged rape happened just nearly outside it, at 11 o'clock in the morning, 1 October in 2008, I was told not to eat or drink anything and not to go to the toilet. And I hadn't eaten from 11 o'clock in the morning to nearly 9 o'clock in the evening, and I was starving. I was absolutely starving. So the police dropped me off at a fish and chip shop. These 2 police officers told me they were going to get me something to eat. So they dropped me outside a fish and chip shop in Gillingham and told me to go in there and get fish and chips. And I only had about £3 on me. They'd also eaten penguin bars in front of me, the police. They'd had coffee and drinks, and they'd eaten penguin bars in front of me. I was just humiliated for no reason. They put me all through that for no reason. The police have been fake all along since I was told to write a diary to do with domestic violence. So I would say in Gloucestershire that this silly police officer came out and she did nothing. And they used to throw dogs into my flat. The neighbours would literally throw dogs into my house and flat. And I had a young baby, and I never forget that they would ring the doorbell and they would push a dog into my flat. And the police would come out, and that dog could have bitten my young child. And the police would do nothing. They would absolutely do fuck all. They would do nothing. Since I was put in a domestic refuge and told to write a diary, so they were stealing my thoughts, literally stealing my ideas and thoughts. They were stealing them and using them to their advantage, getting inside my head, knowing all about me, how I ticked, how I thought. And I didn't used to say fuck in those days. I used to say effing hell. So you can see car number plates coming down Corey's Road with F, E-double-F. They're thieves. The police are lying to me. I'm being stolen from, ripped off, whatever me a tremendous amount of money, and they need to apologise to the police because I've blatantly been lied to. They don't know the names of the restaurants. They've been given the names of the restaurants. I've actually found out where that number is coming from. So why can't the police? I found out where it's coming from. Lying to me. It's disgusting. Blatant lies. There's nothing you can actually do about it. There's nothing you can do because you get lied to and fobbed off. It's TV. TV police like the bill. That's what it is. I don't write the diary anymore. They're thieving off me. Lying and thieving right in front of my face. They tell me they can't find the alleged rapist. They've never found the alleged rapist, even though there were CCTV cameras all along where it happened, and there was a witness. Apparently the witness was too scared to come forward, as they usually are. I don't blame them. But there was no CCTV footage with CCTV cameras all along that route, up to the council gun Wolf building. Liars! All the way along. It went into the newspaper, it went into the Medway Messenger, but they didn't name me. They got the age wrong, and it was all hidden and covered up. When it went in the papers, if you go to 2008 in about October and get that paper, there will be a reference to an alleged rape by Chatham Library and the Command House pub. But they don't name me and they get my age wrong. And they actually describe me wrong as well, on purpose, covering it up. And that's what they do. So whenever I am actually in the newspaper, they won't put a photograph of me and they'll come up with some daft description that doesn't match me at all. Just lies. It's all lies. Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. So the people, my neighbours at Fairfield Court and Stanley Road, and Stanley is a place in Scotland. Alexa, where is the place Stanley?
From fandom.com. Stanley is a city in the Falkland Islands.
Alexa, where is Stanley, Scotland?
Stanley, Scotland is a town in the northeastern part of Scotland. It is located 53.0 miles northeast of Glasgow, Scotland.
So, the person that was talking to me first in Victoria Road that the police told to leave me alone was a Scottish male, was a Scottish bloke. I was put in Stanley Road. You've got Stanley in the Falkland Islands, like Alexa has said, but you've got a Stanley in Scotland. So you've got a Stanley in Scotland. And they put me in Stanley Road, and the person that abused me over the phone called me a slag in a woman's voice, was Scottish, and she called herself Hannah. So this seems to be stemming from Scotland to me, and I'm not a rocket scientist and I'm not a policeman, but it does seem to be stemming from Scotland. Someone in Scotland with a grudge. See you later.